can do a song if you like.
No. That's strictly a me and Adam thing, that.
This is
in
Sam.
all honesty, I just haven't had time to even think of one.
Fine then, we'll do the Tom and Sam thing. This is Sam, front Russian backdrop driver.
That's me.
And I'm Tom, and here's some Saturday news. CM Punk makes comment on AEW. John Cena's return date to WWE TV has been confirmed. And major Impact spoilers from last night's tapings. You have been warned. We'll get to that in a bit. Look in my eyes. What do you see?
Not again.
CM Punk news.
Again.
Up a tree.
On your weekend. Yeah. CM Punk. Here we go. This time he said Coke's better than Pepsi and getting it all removed.
CM Punk goes for a Nando's.
That means, I don't know, like maybe he prefers Snickers, which means he's coming back to WWE because they're tied in with Snickers on a promotional deal, aren't they?
That's what it is, isn't it? Well, there we go.
If he'd said Dippin' Dots, we would have known he was going to AEW. But this is it. Big, hot scoops.
Something like that. CM Punk's been having a chat with Screen Rant. He's promoting his new movie, Girl on the Third Floor. And he had some comments to say about AEW's comments about WWE.
Yes.
Sam Driver.
Yeah.
He said, I think AEW needs to focus on themselves and stop talking about WWE. Cody and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, John Moxley, all those guys have something great going on. I understand when people ask you the questions during the interview, you have to answer them, but that's just part of life. You have to learn how to navigate that. I would like them to just try and focus on their product and building it up and making it better. I think that would benefit all the fans.
I get it, but I don't like. I'd said this to somebody on Twitter the other day. Like Pepsi is still doing the Pepsi like taste test. Like I get that you should be maybe still sort of gently putting down your competitor a little bit, but I don't know if it's worth bringing it up all the time.
No, I think that CM Punk knows that whenever he breathes, we've joked about this at the very beginning, whenever he breathes, it becomes front page news for wrestling fans. And so I think him knowing that wants to put this out there to AEW to say, hey, look, just concentrate on what you got to do. And we get accused of being one way or the other in terms of fandom. Like we have an NXT graded and an AEW graded. I think personally we're pretty split.
Yeah, but Tom, it depends on the time of day that those go out. We're favouring one over the other.
I fell into a big argument between an NXT and an AEW fan on Twitter.
Why can't you just like both?
Yeah, you can like both.
More companies equals more great wrestling and more places for people to work, which makes the industry stronger.
This is it. But this argument on Twitter reminded me when I was in school, and it was like, have you got a Mega Drive or a Super Nintendo? You're only allowed one. Sorry, Genesis
exactly
America.
This
Genesis.
is exactly it.
You only allowed one.
It's the console wars, but with wrestling.
It's have both. CM Punk says exactly what it should be said. Don't worry about them. Just concentrate on you do you, hun. You do you. Sam, who am I?
What are you doing?
Who am I?
He's sort of leaning forward a little bit.
No. I mean, like wherever. I'm not, can you?
Are you vacant?
What can you?
Tom is vacant. Breaking news.
I'm John Cena because you couldn't see me. do. John Cena's coming back to WWE TV.
It's huge. It's huge. It is huge. John Cena is sort of doing what The Rock did and going like, wrestling, nah, and just sort of going off to Hollywood for a bit. This is massive though. It's really big and it's sort of in line with the Fox deal, isn't it, Tom?
It is indeed, because John Cena is going to be on an episode of WWE Backstage on FS1. They continue just to throw everything possible at this Fox thing. We had Hogan and Flair on SmackDown. More on that on SmackDown graded later on the YouTube channel. It might be on there now by the time you're seeing this. Brock Lesnar and Cain Velasquez were on there last night as well. Now John Cena part of that FS1 show as well. I'm happy to see John Cena back.
Yes. I hope it's going to be one of those like sort of really stripped back appearances where he's quite open and honest about stuff. Part of me thinks they're going to set up a weird little angle though.
Do you think so? Do you think this will be where some because the FS1 show has been at least presented in its inception as this is a behind the curtain, this is what's going on. Like one of their lead stories on the first one was Bruce Pritchard is SmackDown executive director. Yeah, that surprised me.
Like it's got to feel more realistic with it being on FS1 because I mean the majority of people still still feel the need to remind all of us that wrestling's fake. Which is fine, we know. But when you've got a sort of a credible actual sports network, I think you do need the big names, and you need people like Hogan, you need people like Flair, you need people like John Cena, like the big identifiable face that you've seen on all those t-shirts, on like every poster ever, like he's there. So I think it makes a lot of sense to have him there. And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes well, if it doesn't become more of a regular thing. Not like week on week, just like they'll bring him back whenever something big's happening.
So they'll just have him like associated with the product on a wider scale.
Yeah, he's still sort of like a brand ambassador at that point.
Maybe he's going to do a podcast for them, because you know they're launching that podcast network.
I love a Cena podcast.
I want a Keith Lee podcast. That man talks like caramel.
He does.
Do you know what? John Cena getting a podcast is all well and good, but I bet you John Cena's not going to drop a 20-minute special on the wrestling career of Irish star Dano O'Mani on the podcast feed tomorrow. Brand new episode of Wrestling Curiosities. Just wanted to get that plug in there. Plugged right in there. Cena's back on telly in a bit. He'll be brilliant. Matt Sydal in the news today. He's got a whole load of dates booked with Evolve. But
I don't know what you're on about, Tom.
Oh, really?
I do not know what you're on about, because, no, it's not Matt Sydal.
Oh.
Evan Bourne has, for the first time since 2013, I don't know where he's been, but since 2013, Evan Bourne's just coming back to Evolve, just like, whoa, where's he been?
What is Evan Bourne doing in the Impact Zone, Maggle?
I do not know.
Yeah, so this is Evan Bourne using his WWE gimmick on the indies, which he hasn't been allowed to do.
I think this indicates what we've known for a while about Evolve then. Evolve sort of have quite a strong link with NXT. I think Evolve maybe are potentially in bed with WWE. We've got like the network thing where they ran the special on the network.
Well, I think now NXT is being considered such a much bigger brand than it was to start with. It's now the NXT of NXT, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what it's going to become. That's the thing. And I just...
I'm fine with this, actually. I think
it's really cool, but it's weird. We're in this like throwback phase of wrestling where like Evan Bourne's coming back. TNA are rumoured to be running like, or Impact is supposed to be running like a TNA show over Mania weekend next year. Like, just all this weird throwback stuff. And as we see more people come through Evolve, are they going to revert back to their WWE names? Like, it's weird.
That's interesting. I like Evan Bourne. I think he's going to do some good stuff in Evolve. And I think if Austin Theory, I wonder whether this is a deal with Evolve, because Austin Theory is without a doubt going to be on NXT before the year is out. Without a doubt, that guy is money. So whether Bourne going there is going to be part of that process, whether Bourne is there to fill the gap, whether Bourne is there to work with Theory to move forward, we will see. I think if anybody from that old era of wrestling fits Evolve right now, it's got to be Bourne.
I think you could even throw him in NXT.
Oh,
yeah, I think he'd be great. He'd be great to have an NXT.
Hager kicking people in the balls, you naughty chicken. Hager had his Bellator fight last night, and it was ruled a no contest due to a lot of kicking in the groin.
Yes.
It became that Simpsons episode with the football in the groin.
Old man getting hit by football. My favourite part of this entire thing, like, yes, it was stopped, shots to the groin, Mole Man, brilliant. You had AEW stablemates there. You had Santana Ortiz, Sammy Guevara, and there was an AEW logo on his banner. But right there in the middle of all of it was the dead creative, the dead and gone bad creative was still there because they're still doing it. Like, he's still doing it. I don't know why he's still doing it.
If it was so bad, don't do it, mate.
Yeah, this is it.
just don't do it, you cheeky devil.
But I don't know how they're going to play this off in like...
Well, he's still technically undefeated, because the whole thing that Chris Jericho Le Champion has been pushing is that their big muscle boy is undefeated.
He has been fighting sacks of potatoes on stilts.
Literally. Some weird YouTube series, that. Very niche. But yeah, he's
like
still undefeated.
Putting me in there against him. He would batter me.
Mate, you would have him.
No, I would get...
I reckon...
He would level me. I'd get a nice paid out of it. It'd be great, but he'd level me. But that's sort of the level, I think, of the competition he's been put up against to make him undefeated.
Just go for his charisma.
Hey.
Just say him. Hey. Finalement, I can't find the CGI spoiler wig.
Right.
So this'll do.
So you're the spoiler chicken now.
I am the spoiler chicken, bringing you cluck cluck bad luck. Gonna tell you what happened on Impact now. Get that as a t-shirt. Cluck cluck bad luck. Impact spoilers.
Yep.
We have ourselves a brand new Impact World Champion in the form of Sally? His sister.
Sally?
His sister. Sami Callihan became the Impact World Champion. He has defeated Brian Cage in a steel cage match. This was on the cards for a long while. I don't know how much you've been following Impact Wrestling, but Callahan's been on the bubble.
He beat Brian Cage in the match that Brian Cage invented.
He did indeed, yes. He invented the Steel Brian match.
It's named after him, yeah.
Love a good Steel Brian match. It was at the end of that, though, that we got a foreshadowing of what was to come as Tessa Blanchard and Sami Callihan had themselves a stare down. Tessa Blanchard, who we talked about in the news yesterday, her contract is due up.
Well,
apparently.
there's rumours that it is, there's rumours that it isn't. Nobody's quite sure, and they're playing it close to their chest, which they should do. It's a private matter, obviously, but like my problem here is that when Tessa eventually wins, there's nothing left for her to do. She's going to run through everybody on her way to the top, and then she's going to go, do you want to dad in AEW? It's surely going to be what happens. Like, I don't know what's happening.
Impact have a very difficult time just
It's going to be amazing, but it's like when she finally wins the belt, but it's like, then what do you do? How do you progress from there if she's sort of top of the mountain?
I'm quite sad that that we're not getting Cage versus Tessa now, because they've had a belter at Wrestle Circus in the past.
Yeah.
And they just work so well together. Mind you, Callahan and Tessa Blanchard have proved that they can headline and they can work really well together. So, we'll see what occurs. I'm a big fan of Tessa Blanchard's work, but as you say, I think it's only a matter of time. Sorry, Impact. I feel really sad every time somebody good comes in and we say this. I feel really bad because I feel like this is give her a little while, give her the belt, and then she's off.
Tessa's the biggest surprise. I thought she would be signed up straight away, because she's such a big name in American women's wrestling. I just figured, boom, she'd be straight in AEW, which I remember me and Jack being like, what? Like, it's not happened yet? It's not going to happen? Like, what's going on? I think it's only a matter of time, but, we don't know. She could be signed up for 20 years with Impact.
A 20-year deal?
Yeah.
With decreasing money each time.
They're going to have to take her to Montreal and just, get the belt off her.
This always ends badly with a sharpshooter. Except this news, which doesn't. It ends with an outro with me in an ill-fitting T-shirt. Love you, bye. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. You can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/Cultaholic. Lastly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.